Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So after we got the expected bounce overnight out of our support area, we are now also here subdividing further to the upside and even briefly broke above the previous high. But that's not enough really to get clear confirmation. It needs to break above and sustain above the 1670 level, basically it is. Yeah, highlighted yesterday to you that we could be getting here an inverse head and shoulders. Now, need to see, obviously this is not an Elliott Wave pattern, but you often get this in a possible turnaround, yeah, because first of all, you come down like in an ABC structure or WXY in this case, and then we move up in a wave 1, come down in 2, yeah, and then the next wave up where we sort of hang around here and bounce against the ceiling. This typically creates this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which should send us higher. Ideally, but only if the neckline breaks. And again, it's not one particular price level here. Now I've got 1666 here because it's the wave 1 high, but it's actually a bit of a range here that you can identify between this swing high at 1678, probably going all the way down to 1666. But yeah, I think this is the key level, 1666, 1670 to break above, and then we could get this inverse head and shoulders push us higher. And in terms of what would be the target, first of all, we would be looking here at around 1777 pretty much, or 1770. Now, funny enough, that would be pretty much in line with the 1.618 Fibonacci extension for this third wave that we want to see at 1772. So if this follows through and breaks above that neckline, we should see that 1770 level, if this count is correct. Yeah, and I would in the current situation still expect higher, especially as long as yesterday's low is holding and this support area is holding. I have added here another support area because it could be we are still working on this wave 2, so that since the overnight low we created a wave 1, could be pushing down here in a wave 2. Now sometimes you get very shallow wave 2s and then rally in a third, fourth and fifth. This is certainly a valid view here, but it's very early days to say if this is a proper impulse. Yeah, we need to see the wave 2 play out, and it must not drop below 1611. Otherwise there's a risk of also breaking below yesterday's low, and then we talk about increased likelihood of our alternative scenario where we see a much larger bounce, eventually possibly all the way down to, need to go no, to 1218 in a more extreme case. Yeah, but first of all, we focus here on the immediate setup, and yeah, we have a possible 1-2, 1-2 setup. As long as 1611 is holding, we can expect 1770. However, risk is also increasing, which is why I have highlighted this only in orange and not in yellow anymore. The yesterday's support area was higher likelihood. Yeah, so you see that this is where we introduced this sort of traffic light system. Green is sort of highest likelihood, you know, bit higher time frame, really decent reward to risk and so on. The yellow ones are also good. They are more on lower time frame. Obviously, the lower you go in the time frame, the more fragile it gets. And this is really a sort of a micro 1-2 setup. And I've highlighted it in orange because this can easily break down. So I don't want to give the impression this is a sort of high likelihood 5-star setup and so on. It's decent, but we also have the risk that the move up is only an ABC structure. Yeah, and I mainly focus on that as well due to Bitcoin's choppy nature. I did explain that in Bitcoin's video and already talked about it yesterday. This could have been just an A wave to the upside, this wave 1. The move down could have been just a B wave, and we could rally in a C wave. So on the Bitcoin chart, I've highlighted that in orange. And because we had an ABC setup or a 1-2 setup, this was sort of fairly good support area and setup here yesterday, the yellow one, and it worked out. Yeah, and this I would here also in the C wave expect it could go a little higher, but we are heading into resistance. Why are we heading into resistance? Because if it is just an ABC, it will be a larger B wave, and from here we could then come down. So that means, in simple terms, it means we need to break above this resistance area, which we have now on the chart, which is sort of the resistance for a B wave. Yeah. So we already reacted here to the 50% retracement at 1651. Then we've got the, oops, don't know why. we reacted then to the golden ratio here, basically at 1670 roughly. But yeah, it's really only above 1704 that we can be much more optimistic, and that we have a confirmation that this is not really an ABC structure. So, but again, confirmation doesn't mean certainty in these markets. I just want to highlight this resistance on the chart. Don't make it too massive. So this is sort of what we need to get above in order to make it more likely that we are actually here in an impulse that can eventually take us to 1900 plus eventually. Yeah. So if this is an ABC, what would be the target for the C wave? Because then we've got the possible, you call it the 1-to-1 ratio, where if this is an A wave, we go down to B. Well, yeah, hits perfectly here the 1704 level. Yeah. So just be aware that this is resistance. If we break above this, we can reach 1770. But don't misunderstand this resistance. I'm not telling you we are coming down from here. I'm telling you that as long as 1611 is holding, I would focus on higher. But this is to be understood as resistance. If we get above it, that ABC scenario gets far less likely. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.